film photographer here in Bulu, Perth, Western Australia, where I focus on working with musicians and bands to create analog assets for press, portraiture and music videos. Film and Tape is my latest quest, where you can join me as I mash together analog photography and analog music production. Come and join me. I'm just going to test out this Zeiss Distagon against my Nikon Ai. They're both 28mm f2. Yeah, we'll see what the difference is like. It's not really a scientific test, but just to help me decide which one I want to keep. Sign behind me I'm going to try and use as like a subframe, frame up the water. Yeah, see what these lenses do. I'm just going to try and shoot pretty much closer to wide open, just because that's the main advantage of the Distagon, is that it's got that, people call it a cinematic look. So yeah, I'll give that a try, and yeah, hopefully the light starts peeking through the clouds soon. Just realised I didn't say I am shooting Portra 160 at a touch over box speed today. Maybe I'll do one at f2 and then one at 5.6 to see, you know, the difference in vignetting and sharpness, and you know, a few other of the lens characteristics. So yeah, I'll try that and see what the result is. So you can definitely see the field curvature taking effect in this first shot, with the Zeiss having a bit more like a three-dimensional look to it. I do notice that there is a little bit more of a green cast to the Zeiss photos as well. I enjoy this composition behind me. It's got you know, some decaying wetlands in the foreground and then a sprawling city in the background. I just like the juxtaposition of it. It's pretty nice. Getting absolutely eaten alive by mozzies though. I always make the mistake to not bring air guard, but I'll get this shot and get out of these mozzies' way. Getting absolutely peppered by mosquitoes. Just saw a kangaroo though, which was pretty nice. I mean, there's millions of them elsewhere, but on this little island I don't often run into one. I'm gonna go to the foreshore, maybe wait for sunset and see how we go. Mid-roll thoughts. The Distagon, the focus throw is pretty short, which is really nice. It also has half stops, half aperture stops, which is actually super handy, especially like with something like the FM2, which is all mechanical and it's pretty regimented with its shutter speeds. Yeah, so pretty good. I mean, obviously I haven't seen the shots. I'm interested to see what the plane of focus effect has on a few. I shot one earlier of the kangaroo. If it turns out it was, the kangaroo was sort of on the third, but I just focused and recomposed, which apparently, from the forums, is not so good with this lens to do, just because it doesn't have that linear plane of focus. Yeah, but I guess I'll find that out when I develop it. Take a double exposure of these roots behind me and try overlay them over top of the city skyline. Last shot here. With these clouds, we'll see what the colour rendition's like on each lens. Yeah, hopefully they just keep on getting more and more saturated. So I made the track before I went on the photo walk this time. I started with the drum machine from the Casio MT400V once again. This time I ran it through a little bit of reverb, and some of the fills I ran them through my Ibanez flanger, which is just a classic sound. So thought I'd try that, and yeah, then I moved on from there. When I wrote this one, I wrote it on guitar, which always means the parts are way too hard for me to play on the keys. So this definitely took me the longest, and I had to sort of stop and bounce myself back in the middle of some of the tracks, which you can hear. I guess it's a flaw, but it sounds really cool. You can hear the tape slowing down and speeding up as I try for my 1000th take of the keys. So yeah, that's a little bit of a tape character that I like in this one. For the bass, I am using my friend's Greco Hofner copy, and yeah, I just put a little bit of compressor on it and played it just as is. I didn't put any chorus on it this time, just tried to keep it pretty simple. I wanted to actually double track the electric guitar this time, so I went to bounce the little 3-piece mix onto the 4th track, which you can do inside the Tascam Portastudio. So yeah, here I am just mixing it down to bounce it, but then something went wrong in the bounce. Haven't really done it too much before, so I'll definitely iron out some of those kinks for the next one. It was just it was like pulsing, sort of like a overly compressed. I don't know if it was something to do with the DBX noise reduction. Yeah, I'm sure some tape experts know a lot more than I would, but yeah, it didn't quite work, so I ended up just scratching that idea and just going for a 4-track mix once again. Then it was on to guitar, and I was going to try run it through my Ibanez flanger again for a bit of continuity, but I just couldn't really get a nice sort of pseudo chorus tone out of it, so just chuck the chorus back on, turn the Tapex to, it's a tape delay emulation pedal on, and yeah, sounded great. Right, now I'll just export this tape onto my very old laptop, and I might just fade in some of the volumes of the drums, the bass and the guitar, and I might also mess with the pitch control at the start. It's the gimmick, the old tape gimmick that I really like. So here's what I'm left with in my very old version of Ableton. Yes, so just some simple EQ and compressor and limiter and a few other tiny things just to basically boost the level, really. And yeah, that's it. Definitely like exported this one out a little bit hot, so there's a few more like tape crackles and that than I would usually like, but you know, it is film and tape after all. So yeah, that's the track done. Now that the tape's been bounced, here's some final thoughts on the lenses. The Zeiss definitely tends a bit more green in its rendering, whereas the Nikon is a little more magenta, and you can see that a lot in the photo of the bridge with the clouds. The Zeiss also has quite pronounced field curvature, which looks really cool, gives the image a 3D pop and the background even more blur. The only drawback is when I'm using my Nikon FM2, I often focus and recompose, so I sort of misfocus like in the kangaroo photo, and I can't be doing that at gigs and other low light situations, so that's why I'm going to move on the Zeiss and keep the Nikon. Thanks for joining me on this, which is take 2 of Film and Tape. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the good things, and yeah, I'll be back here for another one soon. Yeah, thanks heaps.